There are 5 pathological features that you need to remember. Don't worry, we'll not go into details just like you might have seen in Robbins being given, but at least the names and what exactly is happening you need to understand. Now next we come to the pathological features in pulmonary hypertension. There are 5 pathological features that you need to remember. Don't worry, we'll not go into details just like you might have seen in Robbins being given, but at least the names and what exactly is happening you need to understand, and we'll be doing it in a diagrammatic form. So look at this diagram. This diagram is summarizing the 5 types of changes happening in the pulmonary arteries in pulmonary hypertension, and they occur in children as well as in adults. So I'll try to zoom in. First of all, the first change that we find in pulmonary hypertension is in the peripheral arteries. Normally, the peripheral arteries do not have a very thick muscular layer. What happens in these patients is that between internal and external elastic lamina, as you can see, there will be development of smooth muscle cells. And this smooth muscle cell which are developing will lead to relative rigidity of the small peripheral pulmonary arteries, making them, too stiff to the changes in pulmonary circulation. This is one of the early features that you find pathologically in pulmonary hypertension. The second feature will be seen in the actual muscular arteries. Where the muscle is already present, the muscle will become thickened in nature. So the second feature, look at this. The second feature will be seen in the muscular arteries. Where the muscle is already present, you will find that the tunica media, it becomes hypertrophied. You know that there are 3 layers: tunica intima, media and adventitia. The intima is composed of endothelial cells, adventitia is the outer layer, and tunica media is composed of muscular cells. So the muscular cell layer, which is normally 1 to 2 cell layer thick, it becomes double its normal size. That is called as hypertrophy of media in muscular artery. That is the second feature that you find. Third feature that we find is this. Small precapillary arteries may be lost, they may become fibrotic, they may become absent. That is the third feature, loss of smaller vessels or smaller precapillary arteries. Fourth pathological feature is this, neointima formation. So there will be interruption or disruption of the internal elastic lamina, and these muscle cells which were present outside the internal elastic lamina, they will migrate inwards and a very small lumen will be left. So it will lead to narrowing of the lumen. This is called as neointima formation. So tunica intima is becoming smaller in size, which is doing what? It is compromising the lumen of the pulmonary arteries. And fifth feature is this. This is called as plexiform lesion formation. So as you can see that small channels will start forming. These channels will start forming in, as you can see, this is one channel which is forming, this is another channel which is forming. This type of lesions are called as plexiform lesion formation, and it is one of the advanced features of pulmonary hypertension. It is more commonly seen in chronic pulmonary hypertension rather than in acute. These are the 5 types of changes, and remember, all these changes can coexist or only a few changes may be present in one individual. But these are the 5 distinct patterns that you need to remember.